Good day, ma'am. Good day, everyone. I am Jelemy Cartin Sereno, and my partner is Diane Gris Taduran. Our topic is about milk and ice cream processing. So, milk and ice cream processing focuses on fresh milk products including fluid milks and ice cream. Frozen desserts can be packed in innumerable types and configurations of packages. Introduction. Milk products have been consumed by humans since prehistoric times. Archaeological records shows that humans began milking goats 9,000 years ago and manufacturing cheese at least 7,000 years ago. Milk has become an important constituent of our diet for a number of reasons, including but not limited to its high nutritional quality. The annual consumption of milk in the world was 749 million metric tons, and the average per capita consumption of milk was 107.3 kg per person year in 2011. According to the Food Agriculture Organization or FAO, the largest producer of milk in the world in 2011 were USA and India. The annual U.S. milk production increased from 56 million metric tons in 1979 to 87 million metric tons in 2010. Physical and chemical properties of milk constituents. First is fat. Milk fat is secreted as fat globule surrounded by a milk fat globule membrane or MFGM, which maintains the integrity of the globule and maintains fat as an emulsion in the surrounding aqueous phase. So, ang fat is provide siya og kanang creaminess and richness sa ice cream, and then contribute to its melting characteristics. So, next is protein. The protein in milk are primarily caseins, ca 80%, and whey proteins, ca 20%. Casein is defined as those proteins in milk that precipitate at or above pH equals 4.5. The caseins are phosphoproteins that form a complex quaternary structure but lack tertiary structure. So, ang protein is nagaprovide siya og mouthfeel, viscosity, and structure for dairy foods. So, ang iyang also, proteins play a crucial role in the flavor of all dairy foods. So, the third one is salts. Milk salts include organic and inorganic salts. The inorganic salts include Na, which is sodium, K, which is Kelvin, Ce2, which is calcium ion, Mg2, which is magnesium ion, Cl, which is chlorine, CO32, which is carbonate ion, SO42, which is sulfate ion, and PO43, which is phosphate ion. Organic salts include amines, citrate, carboxylic acid, and phosphoric esters. Salts in milk can be present in the dissolved and undissolved form. The dissolved salts play an important role in milk protein stability. So the last one is lactose. A disaccharide is a sugar composed of galactose and glucose subonates and has the molecular formula C12, H22, and O11. So, which is the C12 is 12 carbon atoms, 22 hydrogen atoms, and 11 oxygen atoms. Lactose makes up around 2 to 8% of milk. The name comes from lac, the Latin word for milk, plus the suffix "-os" used to name sugars. Now, the next one is milk handling. In a typical modern dairy farm, milk is transferred after milking, rapidly cooled to degrees Celsius in bulk tanks to 300 to 30,000 liter and keep for a maximum of 72 hours before transportation to the processing facility. Milk is transported in milk trucks with standard capacity of about 25,000 liter truck and distances that vary from industry to industry. For most dairy industries, the milk hauler sampler is responsible for an initial quality control and also collects samples from the bulk tank to be tested at a certified state laboratory and after reception in the plant. Processing of fluid milk. Cream separation and standardization. The standard of identity for each dairy product sets different fat and total solids percentage in the final product. Standardization is the process of adjusting the composition, especially the fat content, to the prescribed amount. The process that enables standardization by removing the fat content in milk is cream separation. The principle behind cream separation is the lower density of fat compared to the rest of milk paste.
This is the tank that they use to process the milk.
Next is homogenization. One of the processes that have become standard in the last 50 years for fluid milk and dairy products is homogenization. In the simplest terms, homogenization is subjecting a fluid to extreme mixing energy. This can be done by forcing the fluid through a small hole or gap at high velocity or by very high speed propeller mixing. For fluid milk, homogenization helps control the size of the fat particles. This prevents creaming milk fat on storage. Having this control helps prevent the fat particles from agglomerating and floating to the top. So the last processing of fluid milk is pasteurization. The primary purpose of pasteurization is to inactive most pathogens, disease-causing bacteria in milk to make it safer to consume. Due to food safety concerns, this process is highly regulated all over the world. There are basically three methods used to pasteurize milk. First is low temperature, long time or LTLT. High temperature, short time or HTST. Ultra pasteurization or UP. So next is dairy product processing that will be reported by my partner, Diane Grace Taduran.
Everyone, my name is Diane Grace P. Taduran. Dairy products processing. Fluid milk products, the percentage of milk fat is adjusted in the milks by cream separation and standardization processes, providing these fluid milk varieties. Lactose-free and lactose-reduced milks are produced by the complete or partial hydrolysis of lactose in milk. The hydrolysis of lactose into glucose and galactose is accomplished using B-galactosidase lactase enzyme. A light whipping and heavy cream. Cream is a fat-rich dairy product obtained from the cream separation from milk and pasteurization. Half and half is a mixture of milk and cream. It is produced from a series of processes including standardization, homogenization, and pasteurization. Flavored milk are milks with or without coloring, nutritive sweeteners, emulsifiers, stabilizers, and fruit juice. Chocolate milk is a commonplace example of this genre. Concentrated, evaporated, and sweetened condensed milk. These dairy products are obtained by the partial removal of water from milk, while sweetened and sweetened condensed milk (SCM) contains suitable nutritive carbohydrates, sweeteners. They are absent in evaporated of concentrate milks. U.S. regulations for milk and milk products. The U.S. federal regulations are all the laws and acts passed by the U.S. Congress. These are published in the Federal Register every working day by the executive departments and agencies of the U.S. federal government. All of them are compiled in the U.S. Code of Federal Regulation (CFR) under various titles 1 to 50 based on the government agencies handling them. The CFR is published by the Office of Federal Register, an agency of the National Archives and Records Administration (NARA). Example are Title 21 under Food and Drug Administration (FDA), Title 19 under U.S. Customs Service, and Title 7 under United States Department of Agriculture (USDA). Processing and marketing of milk and milk products in U.S. United States Food and Drug Administration (FDA), United States Department of Agriculture (USDA), state regulatory agencies, Environment Protection Agency (EPA), U.S. Customs Service, U.S. Federal Trade Commission (FTC). FDA. Its function is to regulate the safety of foods, cosmetics, drugs, medical devices, biological products, and radiological products. USDA. It assists the FDA in regulating safety and quality of milk and milk products by inspecting dairy plants for confirmation to general specification for dairy plants approved for USDA inspection and grading services. Grading, sampling, testing, and certifying products of approved plants, establishing regulations for manufacturing grade milk as given in milk for manufacturing purposes, and its production and processing, recommended requirements which is adopted by state agencies to regulate grade B milk. State regulatory agencies. Every state has an authorized state regulatory agency for enacting safety and quality regulation for milk and milk products. The Department of Health or Department of Health Agriculture of the state usually enforces this regulation. Environmental Protection Agency (APA). The main function of the APA with regard to dairy regulation is the establishment of tolerance levels or allowable limits for certain pesticide residues and effluent management. The enforcement of this regulation is carried out by the FDA by collecting and analyzing milk samples for pesticide residues. U.S. Customs Service ensures that imported products are taxed properly, safe for human consumption, and not economically deceptive. It is assisted by the FDA and USDA to carry out its responsibilities and set the various requirements for imported milk and milk products. U.S. Federal Trade Commission (FTC). The FTC is federal agency that develops and administers the regulation on advertising and sales promotion procedure for foods. It is authorized to protect consumers and business persons from anti-competitive behavior and unfair or deceptive business and trade practices by the Federal Trade Commission Act of 1914. Sustainability of the dairy industry. A major venture for maintaining sustainability in the dairy industries of the U.S. was put forward by the Innovation Center for U.S. Dairy. This effort have been made to achieve environmental, social, and economic sustainability in the dairy industry. The sustainable point of view in the dairy industry is providing the consumers with affordable and good quality products while protecting natural resources and communities. Goals include addressing future issues of resource challenge due to the growing population. Environment factors such as water scarcity, greenhouse gas emission, and reduction in available land. Efforts have been made to establish about 11 to 25% reduction of greenhouse gases associated with the production of 1 gallon of ice cream mix. Conclusion: the U.S. dairy industry is pioneer in milk and milk product production and export in the world, with a bright future to look upon. Milk is highly nutritious addition to the diet, which contains carbohydrates, fats, minerals, and vitamins. There are a number of processing technologies involved in the production of fluid milk and fluid milk products, including pasteurization, homogenization, freezing, and packaging that have enabled these products to be distributed worldwide for decades. All the milk products and processing technologies are regulated by a number of federal and state agencies to ensure a good quality product for the consumer. Additionally, a number of programs have been initiated to improve the sustainability of the dairy industry to ensure dairy products for future generations. Thank you.